Through the stories shared on the show, you will find real-life triumphs of adversity.
Triumph and adversity, inspiration and motivation.
Grab a hold of your life.
Grab a hold.
It's time to be determined to set your goals and achieve them.
Achieve your goals.
Set your goals high.
Set them high.
Reach for Mars. If you land on the moon, it's still a huge moral victory.
Reach for Mars.
Get ready to be inspired on The Determined Show, hosted by Mark Garman.
The Determined Show.
Good evening, everyone. Mark Garman here with Determined. Hey, I got a very special guest for you guys tonight. So the purpose of my show is to bring on guests to share their testimony and inspire you guys with their triumphs that they went through and overcame. So my guest tonight is Yvonne, who is all the way from Greece. She disrupted her sleep schedule. I believe it's 4 a.m. over there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on Yvonne.
Hi, thank you for having me, and thank you. Thank you for having me. Pleased to be on the show.
Yeah, hey.
And I wish all the best to everybody out there.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and see who we have in the audience real quick. So through we got Jerry and Serena and Farron so far. And I can't see who else has joined here, but those are the ones communicating with us.
Thank you.
Yep. And so Yvonne, if you can go ahead and give an introduction to the community for us of who Yvonne is.
Okay. I'm a writer and a mother and a wife. And like all of you, life has changed a lot drastically when I suffered a hemorrhage one night. And I was in fact on the loo when it happened. And I didn't know what to do. At the beginning, because, it affected me so quickly. I had a bang to the back of the, and within seconds, I move. I couldn't move. Within a minute, I was paralyzed, and I remember this awful noise came up.
So what? So go ahead and go in depth of what type of stroke you had. So what happened? You said you had a hemorrhagic stroke.
I had a hemorrhagic stroke initially. I see a hemorrhagic stroke initially, and afterwards a series of ischemic strokes.
Oh.
But the bad one, the initial one, was a hemorrhage, and
okay.
I lost all power
What was the hardest part of your recovery? Yvonne, we cannot hear you. Can you hear me, Yvonne? We cannot hear you, Yvonne. We can't hear you. No. Refresh the page. Hi, Farron. Aloha, salute. And Tom. Go ahead and refresh the page, Yvonne, and see what happens. See if we can hear you again, Yvonne. Refresh. Close it out and click back on the link. Hi, Lori. Thank you for coming in. Hi, babe. It's okay, Yvonne. It's okay. Yvonne, close out the page, Yvonne, and then click back on the link. So while she tries to get that figured out, let's go ahead and see who else we have on here. As Lori said, the ups and downs of live, which is true. This is true fact here. And no being able to go in and edit in the middle of a show. So we'll see if we can get Yvonne to go in and go ahead and fix it. So technology, gotta love it. You're right, Serena. Let's go ahead and keep a conversation going in the comments. There we go.
Live now.
There we go. All right. Yvonne's back. There we go.
Hi. sorry.
No worries.
Can you see me now? Can you
Yeah,
see me now?
bring the camera down a little bit more.
I'm reluctant to because it's going to go off.
Okay, let's not move it then. All right, so
Okay.
I think we left off on your audio. You're talking about the type of stroke that you had. You're talking about the hemorrhagic stroke that you had. I think you're starting to go into because I think we discussed that you had 4 strokes total. So I think you're jumping into that aspect. or 5 strokes, excuse me.
That's
So,
okay.
so the first one was the hemorrhagic stroke, and then
Yes.
go ahead and jump into the rest of them. So
Okay.
how did that play out?
The hemorrhagic was worse, I think. It left me locked in. It left me paralyzed totally within minutes. I had aphasia. I couldn't speak at all. When I learned to speak, it was often jumbled, and that's why my poetry helped me so much. I had to learn to. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I had to learn to, like all of us,
Yeah.
to read, write. I didn't
Mhm.
know the alphabet when it came out. I was like a newborn kid.
Right.
I could when we counted to 7 for the first time. My husband and myself cried. I
Yeah.
couldn't. Yeah, it was. So I think I've come so far in so short time. You know,
Oh yeah, for sure. So how long ago did all this happen?
it happened 8 years ago. 8 years
Nice.
ago,
Nice.
and 8 years ago, and Touchwood. The first 2 years were terrible. I had all the strokes in the first 2 years,
So
and
you had 5 strokes in 2 years.
yeah.
What were the like the time spans in between like each stroke?
Okay. The first stroke, I was about to leave hospital after 5 months after recovering. I could walk, just walk,
Mhm.
and the last day was going home, and I had another stroke, an ischemic stroke this time.
In the hospital.
Yeah,
Wow.
they were signing me out, and I had the doctor was saying, "Okay," I said, "Yeah, I'm really happy," and I was talking gibberish, and I thought I was talking, okay,
Mhm.
and the doctor said, "Yeah, okay, you're having another stroke," and that
Wow.
was it. But I spent another month and recovered again, and went home and started a regime to work out and my mind to teach myself to read, write, everything again. And poetry was when I did eventually find a way. I found that poems would let all this emotion that I had trapped inside my
Yeah.
head um, was I can express it,
Yeah.
and
So you said that you were walking out of the hospital, you had your second stroke.
yeah,
And so 8 years ago is when the first one happened.
yeah.
And what was it? 2 months later, the next one happened.
No. It was 5 months because I was in hospital altogether 5 months, and
Okay.
as I was going to leave the hospital, the other stroke happened, so I never left. I stayed
Yeah.
another month,
Yeah.
and but the thing is, it caused epilepsy, and I had my first grand mal seizure after the hemorrhage, and I've been touch wood seizure free for 3 years.
I have seizures as well, and I've been seizure free for I think it's about 3 to 4 years as well. Yeah, and they're they're horrible.
That's her. That's terrifying. And I used to, I think it was the part that's scary because you think you're going to die every day.
Yeah.
Which I'm-
Can you feel the seizures coming on?
yeah.
So
Do you-
so what? Yeah. What does it feel like when they're coming on? What is it? What like? How does,
I wrote a poem about seizure. I wasn't going to read it. Would you? I'll read it if you like.
yeah. Let's hear it.
If we can. The thing is, the seizures. I had movement disorders, and my legs would seize sometimes. The leg would seize totally, and the doctor was like the bottom half of me would be going like this, and my sons were on the bed and said, "Mum, get an audition for a river dance." I'm like trying to, and people like, what are these kids saying? The sons are so compassionate. I loved it. I was laughing with him, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
And every year, it was funny because when I couldn't speak, the first words I was making, thank you, salute. The worst words I was making was not the sound.
Yeah.
And the woman doctor asked and the nurse asked my son, "What's she saying? Do you understand what she's trying to say?" He said, "Okay." The guy it was a quack. He gave her the plastic surgery, the one wrong, the Botox. His name was Noah, and she's trying to get larger. He gave me the Botox that went wrong. And they believed him. They believed that I was in the hospital with Botox on me.
As Salute is saying here, humor is the best medicine. Laugh.
Yeah,
I agree 100% there.
it is.
It is.
So I'm trying to find, if you want, you'd like
Yeah.
me to.
I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it.
How do your seizures affect you?
So my seizures, what it is I'll get like an aura, like kind of like where am I type deal. And then the sensation you get when your foot's asleep, I'll get that sensation in my left leg or my left foot. And then that same pins and needles type sensation will go up my leg. And then I won't feel it in my torso area. And then it'll go down my arm. I feel it in my pinky and it'll go up my arm. And then my head will twitch. That's just a mild one.
Yeah.
And a large one would be, I would get that aura, again, like where am I at? And I will be completely lost. Like I wouldn't know exactly where I am. Like I would be in this room right here wondering, okay, I have no idea where I'm at. I'm completely lost. And I'll just convulse out of nowhere like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I have different types. And then, I just get an aura. I can just have like an aura, like.
I like the auras, but I don't have auras. I have like light swatching, but they're not pleasant. They're not pleasant.
No.
I also get pins and needles a lot.
Do you? Yeah.
But I'm like, it's like I'm walking on a boat. It's at sea. I'm walking up and down the beginning, or the ground's moving. It's an earthquake, and that's exactly what I was saying. It was an earthquake. I can't find it as usual. Nothing goes right for me.
It's okay. It's okay. We have other ones to read. So Serena asked if you ever stop breathing during your seizure.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
The truth. I don't know. the grand mal. I've only had one grand mal, and the rest are petit mals. But I've been conscious. I don't lose consciousness,
Yeah.
and that's good. I'm aware of.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good, but thank God I've had no seizures for 2 years,
Yep.
and I'm lucky because I got a really, really good doctor, neurologist. He,
Me too.
yeah, I think we're in competition. I think I love my neurologist. It's actually an expert in epilepsy and disorders, and he's. When I first went to him, I didn't like medication. That's all right. And he said, "You're not taking the medication enough medication." And I said, "How can you tell?" It's because when I do your blood test, it should
Right?
not.
It shows up. Though your levels are off.
That's cruel. That's cruel. And he got really angry, and he said, "Will you understand that this is blocking a bad protein? It's not, everything's toxic you put in your body. It's something good." And I have maintained the levels, and I haven't had a seizure. Really, touch wood. I haven't had. It's the best feeling when you don't have a seizure.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. And especially when you have kids, it's scary for them to see it. I mean, not only kids, other people that are close to you. It's a scary sight for them to witness it. And I know the first time my wife witnessed it, it scared the bejeebus out of her. Yeah.
My son witnessed one, and it terrified him. He was asked to hold me down with the doctor, and it was like my younger son. It was terrible, and I don't know how they coped. I'm not concerned about myself, but I think the pain they went through it's terrible, terrible. I really don't care about myself. I care about them.
Of course. Yeah, this is my wife here saying it is scary to watch because we're so worried about you.
Oh, she's so good.
Yeah.
My husband is. That's what at the end of the day, it's your wife and my husband who pay for this. They love us, and a consequence, they become a victim as well, a survivor as well.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
Really tough. And I think the effect had on my son's lives, and I wouldn't have done it for anything.
One of my catchphrases, or one of the things that I say is, you always have eyes on you, watching you, wondering what is Yvonne gonna do now with the circumstance that she's in, and it's always, you pave a path for other people to follow.
Yeah.
So you overcome the triumphs and tribulations that you go through. You become an inspiration to those people that are watching you. Whether it's, your son that's watching you, your neighbor, your best friend, your grandchild, or just somebody, whoever is watching, your cousin, you show that you can overcome all the odds and, essentially become a better you. Because of everything that you went through, you become so proud of everything that you went through, you pave that path for other people to follow. You know, they have that mindset of, you know what, if Yvonne went through this and overcame all this, you know what, I can overcome this too. And that's basically what this show is about. You know, I'm bringing on people like you to share their testimony and have my viewers watch your testimony and all the things that you have overcome and what you are doing with your life now. And so the viewers can say, you know what, Yvonne went through this. This is what Yvonne has done since then. I can do it too. You know?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to. I think, you know, I was telling you before, you come to a point when you think that's, why did it happen to me? Why? Yeah, not why not. Not why not. Why did it happen to me? And for a moment, you catch yourself in this thing. And I thought, why not? When I was thinking at the end, but I thought, I'm not going to give in. I'm not going to, because I have too many people like my husband, my sons, who love me. And by not recovering, I'm getting better. I'm hurting them. I'm going to recover for them. I don't want to hurt them, because, you know, my husband was saying, don't worry. If you you know, it was like couldn't paralyze and couldn't move, and he's telling me I couldn't communicate with him, and he was telling me, don't worry, I won't put you in a home or anything. I carry you around with me all day. You have to lose some weight first. And lying in bed, but you know, it's, and I the thing that struck me, I didn't know somebody could love so much, this much. I've watched, it's. I'm blessed. I'm really blessed for that.
100%.
I went on to do things that I set myself targets. I faced up to every fear that I had. I run a 5K, walk, run a 5K. That was a big challenge to me to do. And Athens, the Athens Marathon. And it was, you know, I started walking around the garden and I just did it because I wanted to show it can be done. And and everything that my walk, I walk now, it's if I never had a stroke. I had no limp.
Awesome.
No, it's true. And that's for people to show that they can do it as well. And my arms, you can see, you know, everything's like before, and I couldn't talk. I think, okay, now, even with the aphasia suffered, and it's okay. It's more than okay. It's brilliant.
No. My good friend George here, he's a Greek as well. So he lives in Australia.
Yes, you're good. No, the Greeks are good. We have this dark days around now, but the thing that we see, all the people are pulling together. That's really important. Really important.
Yeah. So you did the 5K, and then also you wrote poetry
Yes.
as well.
I wrote poetry and children's books and inspirational, motivational books.
Wow.
I'm also I'm pretty good considering I never could write my name. That took a year.
Were you a writer before your stroke?
No, I loved writing. I was an editor and I was a teacher, and this came in very helpful for me because you know how you teach kids. I remembered not anything, but I remembered the methods when I started to learn. So that's how I taught myself. I sat down with learning my husband the ABC, and when I gained momentum. I started with flashcards, and so it was intense
Yeah.
things. And I got it all back within a short period. Within a year, I got it all back. And I
That's
had nothing, really nothing. I remember sitting in the hospital when the second time, and they brought a TV in for me to watch. This is how it was going. I was sitting up in the bed one night, and the nurse said to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to turn the TV. I commute." I said, "You need a remote." I thought I could turn the TV off just by my head, thinking
telekinesis.
I really did. I and there was with when first you used an iPad on my phone, I felt like it was magic, copying something, copying a page. I really couldn't get my head around that.
That's funny stuff right there. So do you have approximately how many poems have you written?
Numerous, hundreds. I love it's a way that tell me which should they're different styles. They're so different in style.
And
This
do you have any of your poems published?
all of them.
They're all published. Oh wow! So I will go ahead and put that book. I'll put a link of that book into the description in the YouTube video. Would you like to read us a poem?
I'd love to, and I'm trying to find one that will resonate. I think this will resonate. It's the very beginning, and I was scared when it happened, and I tried to explain to myself, internalize. It's called fear. You can't understand, you don't seem to see the terrible anguish that's coursing through me. It attacks without warning. The onslaught will begin. An invisible enemy strikes from within. It eats at your heart, gnaws at your brain. It squeezes your lungs with abandoned restraint. It catches you off guard and hinges your soul, then stand back and laughs while you lose control. That's what I felt. And then really.
Wow, that is amazing. Seriously. So you also said that well, let's not go into that part. So all of your poetry you've written all those poems, and they're all published in that book right there. Yeah, and those were all written post-stroke.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I wrote about God because I had a question in faith, like a lot of people who have strokes. And I thought for a period, I felt angry at God. That's crazy. I felt angry. And it's stupid. And this is a poem, but said, "In search of God. I see your face in every soul I meet. Your essence is in every heart that beats. You meet me every evening with your solace. You entwine and cover me in your nephros skies." My speech. I hear your praises sung by the wind, the graces on the wind, melodical and sustaining, nourishing and creating. I turn to listen to the curses that are building softly, like snow to erupt, transformed into a fiery inferno. You're gone, and now see, hung from every tree, over and over, man condemns himself to oblivion and enslavement, not liberty. It's
Wow, Yvonne, that's beautiful. So I talk to George all the time, almost daily, and I told him that you were coming on my show, and he actually already ordered that book.
Oh no!
Yeah.
This that's lovely. I haven't sold so many of them. I thought, okay, it's going to be a bestseller. I was going to I donate the money to the profit to a hospital to help, and everybody little the stroke hospital that I was in Athens cut. I intended to donate £1 million. Didn't enter. You end up a couple of £100, but anyway, it's a start, and yeah.
And you also said that you had some children's books that you've written as well.
The children's books is very funny book. It's called the. I'll send you a link. It's about the Greek gods and a comedy. I'll send you a link about when the gods come out to play. And I wrote it around my. He's only my grandson's only 7 at the time, and he has twin brothers who are naughty, and he's all no, they really are naughty, and I imagine the situation where the Greek gods came. And they were only visible to Luke, the eldest, and they were always playing tricks on his mother and father and leaving him the blame. And it's a very funny book for kids. It's very funny.
And you said it was 2 books the children's books.
One children's book, an inspirational book, inspirational quotes. A second book is coming out. I don't believe it. My battery's not charging. I'm going to go off on this.
Your iPad's about to die?
In the second, I think.
Sorry. So it's okay. We'll wrap it up then. George wants to know which hospital, because he was actually in the hospital in Greece.
Cats.
Cats.
K-A-T.
K-A-T, George. Cats Hospital. Yvonne, yeah. I will post all the links to all your information for your poetry, your
Thank
books,
you.
and whatnot in the YouTube videos, so everybody can go on there if they want to purchase them and whatnot. Yeah, did you say the proceeds? Some of the proceeds are being donated to the hospital.
Yes.
Right.
Well, if I get a lot of coverage, they're all going to the profits are going to the hospital.
That's amazing. That's
No,
amazing.
no, it's not. They were great to me. So,
Yeah.
which hospital did your friend go into?
George, which hospital did you go to, bud? George, which hospital did you go to? We'll wait for him to reply. I also am donating as well. I have my merchandise up on my website. I'm donating to the Stroke Association of America. I'm donating to all that. I'm donating most of my profits to the Stroke Association of America.
I actually I forget if I have the Stroke Social magazine. They printed my poems on my fascia, and it was amazing. They featured me in an article. Did you see?
Wow.
I'll send you the link. And they talked about me and what happened and Mercy.
That's the hospital.
Yeah. I know that this hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they wrote about. I'll send you to the link. But
yes, send me all the links so I can put them up. I can put them on the video.
What a disaster! The battery dying.
Yeah.
It's been a great show to meet you and talk to you. You're a great person. I appreciate all you're doing to help people. You really,
thank you so much.
You're great.
Thank you.
Amazing. So until my battery dies.
Do you have any concluding thoughts for the community out there?
I said to them, never give up. And I mean that in a positive way. They faced a lot of trials. They have to, when they come out of hospital, they have to work and do daily exercise, regardless if their hands are not working or anything else. They have to keep at it. The speech, they have to keep at it. It won't happen in a minute. It takes time. It really does take time. And it's walking one step at a time. But don't be disappointed and don't ever, think, I'm not going to make it. It's too long. I've reached a plateau. There's no such thing as a plateau.
You are 100% correct. No such thing.
The only thing you reach plateau, we lose our appetite and that's it.
It's all in your head.
Yeah, exactly. It's all in your head and your heart. You have your heart and your head, and you have to keep going and despite everything to reach the goal.
Yep.
I have to go on when we get everything worked out again, hopefully.
Yeah. So my concluding thoughts for everyone is Yvonne is the epitome of why I bring these guests on the shows. She suffered what most of my audience has suffered. She had a stroke. She had something drastic happen in her, something catastrophic happened in her life. She got through that catastrophe And here at the end of it, she has written poems, she has written books, and she walked a 5K, ran a 5K, and her books and her poems have been published and are for sale. That just goes to show that you are not stuck in your current circumstance. You are not stuck. Continue to push forward. Set your goals high. Don't reach for the stars, reach for Mars. If you land on the moon, it's still a huge moral victory. And guess what? We're all here to hold your hand and walk with you to reach those goals. We're a community. We got your back. If we can see someone do it to pave the path to get to greatness, follow that path. Those are my concluding thoughts. With that being said, let's go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. And dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for allowing Yvonne to break her sleeping habits and waking up so early to come onto the show and share her testimony with the community, showing the community that no matter what, you can overcome your obstacles in life and achieve your goals. Not only achieve them, but supersede what you have set for yourself and prove to the doctors that what they tell you is possible, and not only possible, but you can achieve what they have set for you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank you and all you guests out there. And please don't give up. And no matter what you choose to do, do it. You're worth it.
There you go.
Thank you, Mark. Good night.
Yep. All right. Good night.